The opinions expressed within the content of this podcast solely that of our guests and do not reflect the views and beliefs of the Bigfoot and Paranormal Encounters podcast, its hosts or its affiliates. Dave Weigert was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. His family has seen and experienced far more than most families with strange encounters and tragic moments. Dave, the youngest of 4 children and the only living sibling, went on to have many strange encounters throughout his childhood and adult life. At age 20 he began his journey to learn about the unknown. Dave has a background with Baltimore County Fire and Police, private security, bodyguard, bank security and security for a Baltimore sports team and other law enforcement agencies. Dave started the Maryland Paranormal Research Team in 2003 and closed the doors in 2016. He started Other Voices on the MPRT radio network along with a newsletter. From 2007 till 2016 he was the curator for the haunted Ramblewood Mansion. He hosted years of paranormal research and investigations at the location. Dave was also a mobile DJ for 35 years. Dave was a speaker at a number of colleges speaking about the paranormal to students. Dave founded the Maryland Bigfoot Research Team in 2018 and left it to a former member of MPRT. He now resides in Bucks County, Pennsylvania near his grandchildren. He has since founded the Mid-Atlantic Bigfoot Research Team. He currently hosts a podcast weekly called Bigfoot and Paranormal Encounters Podcast. Let's welcome Dave to the podcast.
Welcome to Bigfoot and Paranormal Encounters Podcast. And now your host, Dave Weigert.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Bigfoot and Paranormal Encounters Podcast, live from the Cryptid Cabin. Yeah, I know that snow's on its way, so, man, it's going to be a rough night. But it's also going to be a good night. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring in my co-host for tonight. And let's give a warm welcome for Miss Tracy Jones.
Hey, hon.
Hi. Tracy, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, honey.
That's good. Yeah, we got that winter storm on the way, but we'll get through it. You know, I'm going to share something with you. I was listening to somebody talk about it earlier, and they seem to think that it's a distraction.
I wouldn't doubt it.
A distraction
look
for
because you don't want to see what's going on over there. Yep.
Right.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, we'll see. You know, when it gets down to
realized, I just realized I look like a disembodied head. Oh well.
Wow. Well, folks, tonight we have not one, but 2 guests 2 guests, and one is my cousin, and the other one might be too. So we don't know. But without further ado, I'm going to bring them in. Welcome, Karen Reynolds and SHERRI Stallings.
Hi.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
There you go. How are you girls doing tonight?
We're doing great. How are you?
Pretty good so far.
Good.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're gonna start with Karen, and then we'll go to SHERRI. Karen, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I reside here in Dundalk with my husband. I've been friends with SHERRI for 30 some years. We've been friends ever since we were preteens. We've, always had a good relationship. We started Crafty Witch together, which we'll get into that a little later. And it's been an adventure with a little bit of bumps along the way, but nonetheless, it's been a great experience, and we can't wait to see what else the future holds for Crafty Witch.
All right, SHERRI.
Well, I've been in the craft since I was about 15. I did veer away from it for maybe a year, because of my paranormal experience, and then I got pulled back by a white witch, and I have never looked back since. So I've been in it probably just a little bit shorter time than I've been with Karen. She's been my longest relationship in life.
Mine too.
So, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you're both
SHERRI,
witches,
I have a question for you. Did Karen ask you to come over tomorrow and shovel her sidewalk?
Because she knows better.
There you go. I only asked that because Tracy promised me she was coming over to do mine. So.
The hell I am. Princess don't do that.
There you go. Tracy, do you have a question for Karen?
Yeah. What was the, if you don't mind sharing, the paranormal experience that you had that made you want to leave for a while? If you can talk about it.
I started dabbling in the craft about 15. I will say, like, at that time, I was kind of in like the victim mentality where like everything was going wrong. I had a lot of issues at that time. And what happened was I had just got married, and it spiraled, and I reached a point where I thought that I couldn't handle it. So I went to the church, and I had a pastor come and bless the house, bless me. Karen was there. I thought I was losing my mind.
I thought she was losing her mind.
As one does, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I veered off for about a year. And the reason why I have never looked back from coming back to the craft was because of my paranormal experience. It stopped as soon as I met a white witch and did certain types of things to protect myself.
Okay.
And I have a tattooed protection symbol on the back of my neck, and I have never had an issue with all of the things that happened to me at that time.
Well, what if I know I'm being nosy, but I'm a woman, I'm allowed to be. What kind of things happened? Like, were there noises? Were things moving? You know?
I'll let you explain, because at first she thought I was crazy.
At first, I didn't believe SHERRI.
Okay.
And I was over her house one day, and we were just watching movies, whatever. And we were putting a new movie in. She was standing by the window, and she was like, "Karen, there's people outside. And I was like, well, normally there are, Sherri. And so it was these 3 people, and they were in black cloaks, and they walked into the woods, which that's a little,
It was weird.
yeah, a little weird.
Yeah,
And
that's dabbling on the wrong side.
Correct.
I will never out the religion we found out that my ex-husband was in, because that's not what I do. But it was not part of the craft, and it was very dark. And
It was Santeria.
It was.
Really?
No. A version of.
Okay. I know what I'm not saying that word. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it took Karen to have the encounter while I was having I was in the shower. She was cooking dinner, and she got touched, and she got breathing in the ear.
I heard whispers,
Yeah.
Okay.
in my ear, and I thought it was Sherri just pulling a joke on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was literally in the shower.
yeah,
Good excuse.
yeah, it was a unique situation. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what happened after that transpired? So I finally opened up because I kept it all quiet, because that was early 2000s. It wasn't really openly out there, and so I kept it quiet for myself. But I realistically thought I was losing my mind at that time. There was just so much that had happened in such a little time, in like 4 years, that I was just like, okay, I'll keep it quiet. But then when she came to me and said that, and then I started opening up, she started seeing everything. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. I got somebody to validate what was going on with me.
Right.
And I had an instance where I was actually physically dragged off my bed.
No.
Yeah. And,
okay.
that is where I had the house blessed.
Okay.
And that's where I kind of turned to the church and thought, okay, maybe it's something I can't handle within what I'm used to. And so I turned to the church, and we went to, I had a pastor come and bless the house, and it increased. It did not go away. And it wasn't until I changed jobs, and I was like, okay, I'm changing jobs. And I ran into a white witch, and she had me do certain things, and it miraculously disappeared.
Speaking as a white witch. Woo.
Exactly. She saved me from all of the mess that I was dealing with at that time. So
Okay. Well,
credit her.
Cool.
Yep.
Can't hear you, Dave.
Yeah, you're quiet.
I was
Dave's never
muted
quiet.
again. I just want to give a quick shout out to Donna Donaldson, another cousin. She's in the chat room, and just want to say hi to her, and
Hi,
stay
Donna.
warm and stay safe, Donna. All yours.
Tell me about your the witchy soiree thing. What is that? Is that a business that you started, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So that business actually started. So we had a falling out with another friend. So we took that opportunity to go to Salem. I mean,
As one
seems like
does.
the right thing to do.
As one does, yeah.
So we went to Salem. We engulfed in, everything that Salem has to offer. We did the broom classes, tried to take in all the history. And it was funny. And then we'll talk about this later, but Sherri and I have a few abilities.
Okay.
So as we're walking through Salem, like me and her are constantly like bouncing off of each other, just saying,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a battery. Yeah, you can amp each other up. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so because of our experience in Salem, we wanted to bring that back to Baltimore.
Okay.
So it started out that we were going to do witches brooms classes.
Okay.
And then that kind of went to something bigger, and now we do craft fairs and things like that. We do
Witch
online,
festivals.
we do witch festivals.
Okay.
We teach the witches dance.
Oh yeah.
So we engulfed Crafty Witch.
Okay. Awesome.
And the soiree type of thing is we manage events at halls and stuff. So we do some big events, and then we do small events. So we do everything kind of in between.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
want to throw this in there real quick. I'm sorry, Tracy. The Boulevard Diner, first Saturday of the month, starting in April, is the Witches Festival. Witches Festival is September 2026. That's on Merritt Boulevard in Dundalk, Maryland. So check it out.
Right.
Up the street
The
from me.
Boulevard. It's the first Saturday of every month, starting in April.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're out there with the other vendors that we normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's
in
great.
October, the gentleman that runs it, he allows us to do and teach the witches dance.
So
Okay.
we're Texans.
Yes. So we actually have another little group that is just strictly for doing the dance.
Okay.
So we started that little group too. So we meet, we teach everyone how to do the dance, and then we, do it locally.
Right.
And then when we do the Witches Festival in September, we're actually going to be teaching the witches dance out there, and that's a huge festival.
Okay.
So that's in Virginia.
Fredericksburg.
Oh, Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
And it's very big. A lot of vendors.
Like-minded people.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
very awesome experience.
Yeah, last year was the first year we went, and we met some amazing people, and it was just a different vibe compared to like a normal everyday market. So it was nice to meet other people that have the same type of energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So at some of these festivals, did you ever see a gentleman who looked very suspicious, like Krampus, with the big horns and everything? That's my brother, John. And he goes to like a lot of the fairy realms and all that. So I wasn't sure.
Okay. Yeah, we do fairy festivals too.
Okay. You would have seen, you can't miss him. A big, yeah, you can't miss him. Nice guy. Real nice guy.
My husband loves the whole Krampus thing. So we actually went to the Dundalk Krampus festival.
Yeah, he ran that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Look at it.
Awesome. You probably were standing there and you saw me and my husband were like, oh my
I
God,
wasn't there.
his costume's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he goes to Renfest each year, it's like 2 feet picture. And then one year I dressed up as the Wicked Witch of the West with the full makeup and the hair and everything, and 1 foot. And then we had to get in between people, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm ever doing that again. That was a 5-hour makeup job, and I don't have that energy anymore.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. No, you said you have abilities. What abilities do you each have?
So now my ability, and I kind of ran away from it for a while because it wasn't perceived well, and people were apprehensive and scared about it. So my grandmother has this gift. My mother had it, and it skipped my sister, and I have it.
Okay.
So I can smell death on people.
Okay.
So it's a really intense, the best way to describe it is funeral flowers. It's very intense to the point where my eyes start watering. It starts like making me, cough a little bit. I've had an incident where I was working at Toys R Us. And the girl that I worked with, I told her, I was like, hey, I think I should tell you this. I smell flowers around you. And I told her, the background of it. And it was like 2-3 weeks later, her nephew was murdered in Baltimore City.
Oh, geez.
So she was totally freaked out about it, which I understand. And that's kind of, the kind of thing that I would get. So that's what it kind of made me.
So it doesn't have to be who you're smelling it on, but somebody related or around. Okay.
So, and I used to be so upset about it because I understand it's a little morbid. But my mom I think she was the best because she had it too. So she would always say, well, you're preparing people.
Yeah.
So, you don't know how they're going to react. So you're just basically telling them that you need to prepare themselves. Right. I have a group of friends that, the joke in our little friend circle is they'll say, do you smell it around me? Do you smell anything? I've smelt it quite a few times with Sherri, and Sherri can validate that I've smelt it around her 3 times.
Okay.
When her grandmother passed, when her grandfather passed, and most recently when her stepfather passed.
Always 3. Always 3. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's Dave smell?
We haven't met yet, but she's in trouble.
I'll let you know.
You need to take a can of Axe with you just in case.
A can of what?
Axe body spray, that stuff you guys
I thought
like.
you said something else.
Ass spray? No, I did not say ass spray. I have a twang, not that bad.
Wow.
But, yeah, and I can sense people's intuition, like what, well, I don't know if intuition's like the best word, but I can just sense if they're a good person.
You're empathic.
I can sense if, there's something evil about them. I've gotten us out of quite a few situations because I was like, Sherri, this person isn't good. Let's go.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially like when I go through markets or, stuff like a big crowd, sometimes it either wears me out or it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
So
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. And what about
you?
Talk about what you got?
Well, I wish mine would work for me. It doesn't work for me directly. It only works for people that are outside of my like threshold circle or whatever. But usually it's I can see the intent of a situation and what the future holds of it all plays out. And then unfortunately it doesn't work on personal life to send me red flags.
Ain't that the truth?
I wish it did.
If I have one more person say to me, if you're a witch, what are the winning lottery numbers? It don't work like that.
No, I don't.
If it was, I wouldn't be sitting there, having a chit chat with somebody asking me for lottery numbers. I would be in a mansion somewhere.
Right.
Yep.
Like it's not Hollywood. It's not Charmed. It's not Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's not Bewitched. It's not I Dream of Jeannie. None of that.
Well, and a lot of people have that perception for some reason. Like we're just normal people. Like we're doing normal things. Just because, we pray a different way, doesn't mean that, we're having this magical adventure that they have in their head in Hollywood.
And part of doing crafty, we've met a lot of different people.
Yes.
When we did the Witches Dance back in October, we had a lot of customers just come up to us and just, they're curious. Right. I told one lady, because, of course, when us as men don't understand something, we always add an evil twist to it.
Okay.
Which we really got to stop doing that. But I had this one lady say, you're a witch. And I said, yeah. And she says, well, do you worship the devil? And I said, I'm a Christian witch. And she goes, you can be that? And
my son calls them crickens.
There you go.
Yeah.
I had a woman come up to me once at I'm sorry, Dave, I'm taking over your show.
You're good.
I had a woman come up to me at a grocery store one day, and she did that whole devil thing, because she saw I had a pentacle on, and she just did like the way I looked, and she's like, "Oh, you're going to hell, and people like you," and yeah, and so I let her finish. She was about 130 if she was a day, and about this big, but huge attitude. Mm-hmm. I let her finish, and I looked at her and I said, "Okay, I see what you're saying. So when I see your brother later, would you like me to say hello?" And she just stood there and vibrated for like 5 minutes.
We have had instances, because we do on our Crafty Witch, we do some Christian based symbols.
Yes.
But we've actually been told that we couldn't show up at a church function because we have the craft, but we weren't going to intentionally bring those type of items because it wasn't that type of crowd. Right. We would be respectful, but we were told that they didn't want us.
Yeah.
So that is why we started at the Boulevard. Anthony helped us immensely to get up off our feet. And we're very thankful, because at that time we were hitting closed doors every which way because of the perception or the Hollywood ideal of
exactly. Yep. Oh, Kelly, you got 3 ways of Sunday. Look at you, a Norse pagan and a Freemason. Oh. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
awesome. It's been real fun because we've been educating people, and if they come up and ask us a question or talk to us, we have no problem. And it's funny that of course we have, like Sherri said, we have some churches that have just rejected us. We've also had witches that have rejected us.
Yeah. It's good and bad and everything and everybody.
Well, yeah, there's always a bad apple, but I didn't expect it from our community. I really didn't at all. So that's why when that all happened, and I said to Karen, I was like, I thought we learned our lessons a long time ago that you just don't treat people that way. But
most people don't realize how similar paganism and Christianity is. And oh my God, the board's going to light up. But it's why I started to do my podcast. I swear to God, Dave, I'm going to stop talking in a minute.
That'll never happen.
Yeah. I started to do it because I wanted to break down the stereotype. Yeah. People usually go, "You don't look like a witch." Well, no, I don't have a dog collar on. I don't have goth makeup on. And no. At the end of it, I would always do a little "did you know?" And I would compare Christian symbols and pagan symbols. Like the pentacle was originally a representation, or at one point, was a representation of the 5 wounds of Christ. And now it's earth, air, fire, water, self. So it's like there's so many similarities that go on in between. And some people really liked it, and others like, "Oh my God."
And a lot of the Christian based, some of the symbols they use for the holidays come from.
Yeah. Oh, let's discuss Easter.
And it's just like, you have to do some research before you make these accusations, or everything is interconnected in any way. And that's why I believe that religion is all a mix based off of each individual person, and it's just based off of your belief and what you pull into it.
Right.
It is not one center thing that you can just knock down, because just because you're Catholic this way, or you're Wiccan this way, or you're Celtic, or you're Druidic, or whatever it might be, those type of things, you're just pulling portions of the religion because it's based off of your spiritual. and it has to be unique. But
Yeah.
a lot of people just have this thing where it's just cut down the center and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people actually ask us to start our own coven.
Okay.
Just because the way that Sherry and I think, it's a lot different than these covens, because some of these covens that we've seen online, it's kind of like it's their way. It's their way or the highway. You have to think like them. You have to have their same beliefs, or they don't want you.
Yeah.
And we're not like that.
And just mixing energy. I have been a solitary for so long that when I go out in public and I'm mixing energy with certain people, it's overwhelming for me. So I said to Karen, I was like, there's no way that I could do that, because energy, I have to walk away at times on different situations because of who I'm around. So
right.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Dave, I'm gonna be quiet, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna we're gonna go to a commercial break, give you guys a break, and when we come back, I'm gonna take some questions from the chat room. And I got plenty of questions for Sherry and Karen. So I'm going to put you in the green room, and we're going to go to a commercial. All right, give me 1 second here, and
Always fascinated by the unexplainable? Strange Knocks magazine is the go-to. Flip it open, and boom, mind-blowing mysteries, zero fluff, packed with eerie tales and uncanny stories that mess with your head in the best way. Perfect for those nights when Netflix just doesn't cut it. Once got so lost in a story, forgot the pizza in the oven. Check out strangenocks.com and let mystery knock back.
Hi, my name's DJ Phil. I'm the owner-operator of Feeling Good Entertainment. We offer both karaoke and DJ services for a variety of events, all the way from birthday parties, small get-togethers, all the way up to complex, large weddings. From any venue, small or large, we have the ability to customize any set of equipment that we have and know the difference between the different types of equipment so that we can provide the quality and the volume needed for your event. Give us a call today for a no-obligation consultation, 443-277-1392. We look forward to speaking with you. Have a great day.
All right, and we're back, and I'm not muted. I'm going to play something for you real quick, something I'm going to be adding to the podcast probably in the next week or two. I used to do this with the Maryland Paranormal Research Team. Tracy, she might remember, but let me play this real quick.
Get out!
There you go. All right, let's bring Tracy back on.
Hey,
and
that was my cousin Tilly.
Carrie.
It's a little gravelly.
Yeah, I have. What I have is I have a large library from the Maryland Paranormal Research Team investigations that we did, like Gettysburg and all up and down the East Coast, the Eastern State Penitentiary, a lot of private investigations as well. But if anybody wants to send in an EVP, I'd be more than happy to play it when I start doing other voices. So let's go back to Karen and Sherri. Ladies, tell me some of the interesting places that you've been to that you've done investigations at.
Mm, I mean, me and my husband went to Gettysburg, and we went through one of those paranormal societies, and me and my husband Billy, we were all into it. Paid, I don't know, I think it was like $100 a person, and it was an old schoolhouse, I think, or orphanage.
The orphanage. I got a story. Go ahead.
Well, we got up there, and they told us the night before they had a bunch of teenagers up there, so there was no activity. So, and me and Billy were super excited because we're like, okay, this is going to be awesome. We're in Gettysburg, and we're going to experience something. No,
you can't plan it.
Didn't happen. I mean, sometimes if you do have a situation that totally, it's the bad energies or whatever, or, the ghost might feel like you're making fun of them or something like that.
Yeah, then they go
hide.
Yeah,
they're gonna hide.
Yeah, they felt disrespected. Why come back?
Right, exactly.
I'll tell you the story. I swear to God, Dave, it'll be quick. But afterwards, I told my niece this, and she's like, "Oh, I want to go. I want to go." Well, the night that my husband and I took her up, we did the late one, the 11 o'clock tour at the orphanage. There wasn't so much as a mouse fart. There was nothing. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but that's just like when you see the TV shows and like there's always something. No, there's not. But my quick story. I used to be one of the guests, speakers up there, if you will, at the Jenny Wade House and the orphanage because they're owned by the same people. And the last night I did this, it turned out to be my last night. I would usually get two guys on either side, like the size of Dave. Like big guys, didn't want to be there, hated life, everything. But they're just doing it because their women wanted them to go. So I would have them here and here. And I would say, okay, do to me what you did to the kids. Well, this one particular night, apparently, she was feeling a little bit feisty because she picked my legs up and pulled me backwards along with the two men.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I said, you can put me down. You can put me down. All the way home, I see Rosa Carmichael in the back seat of my car, and I'm driving down 83 going, no, get out. But that's one of the stories, and there's a lot more that happened with it, but that my niece heard, and she's like, I can't wait to go, and then not even a mouse fart.
Yeah.
Not nothing.
It
happens.
Yeah, the same place. My husband experienced the smell, so he got different smells from there. So it kind of made him a believer, but he didn't believe until we walked in there, and then he came out a believer. So
okay.
Yeah, and he's Gettysburg. It's it is a lot of different smells. Like you'll just smell them passing. But not everybody smells them. I mean, you have to have an open mind about it.
Right.
And I think that-that's what happened with her husband. He was, those ghosts were like, we're going to make you a believer.
Awesome.
Yep.
Dave, have you ever had experiences up there?
Where was that? The orphanage?
Anywhere in Gettysburg. Have you?
Oh, yeah, remember. The Jenny Wade, the orphanage.
Yeah.
There was a couple other, places that I stayed at too. When they did the conference up there, when we had the paranormal celebrity conference, we all went to dinner, and it was a restaurant that we went back to. I can't remember the name, but we went back later that night, and oh wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot happen. So
awesome.
The reason I put this Strange Knocks magazine up here. Gwen Purcell, okay, is the owner. I have an article that just came out in January, so I was looking for the I have a story in there from my car accident when I hit a tractor trailer head on. So that turned out to be another strange encounter towards the end of being rescued. So that's in January's issue of Strange Knocks magazine. Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay.
No.
I told Dave earlier, I had an experience kind of like what he said. So when I was about 6, I developed epilepsy. So I had childhood epilepsy.
Okay.
I was having over 100 grand mal seizures a day.
Oh my God.
Yes. So one of the times that I died from a seizure, of course, you know, when I come out of it, you know, the doctors and, you know, of course your parents are asking, you know, what happened? What did you see? So, and my mom still talks about it to this day, and Sherri can validate that. So what happened was I saw a light and it was a tunnel. And mind you, I was only 6. And I said that there was people on either side, and it was almost like they were there to welcome me. But there's a man in the front in a wheelchair that said, your mother still needs you. It's not your time. And my mother, mind you, I was 6, so it's not something that my mother would tell me. My grandfather, he was a double amputee. And he was in a wheelchair. I never met him because the day that I was born, he held on long enough to see if I was a boy or a girl, and then he passed. So, yeah. That's sweet. My near-death experience that I had.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes those kind of experiences will just like jostle everything up there and turn a switch.
Yeah. Yep. That's you know, sometimes we'll be walking around going different places, and it's like I can feel energy. And like I said earlier, it just, you know, it will make me tired. It will make me have a headache. It's always different. And I always say to my husband, whenever we're out in public, sometimes I'll be like, I gotta go. I can't be in this crowd too much longer. It's just, I can't. And Sherri has experience like that as well. So
what I would suggest doing is before you go out, talk to whomever it is you talk to, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your God, your goddess, whatever, and tell them, look, I'm going out for this amount of time. Vision of white light circling you like a big bubble. Nothing can get in there. You know, you just got to put everything you got into it and keep that image in your mind the whole night, and you'll generally have a peaceful evening. But you just have to be firm. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody comes out.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, girls, I'm going to throw this photo up. This is the magazine I was talking about. If you look, I believe it's down at the bottom. Let's take a look. All right, Spiritual Savior. Okay, it says, can you read that? My eyes.
One man's account of being saved by an orb.
Yep, that's it.
Awesome.
All right, let me make sure I hit the, yeah. So if you want to get a copy of that, just I'll be putting the website back up for the subscription. All right, so we're taking questions from anybody in the chat room. If you have a question, please go ahead and make sure you put it in all caps when you ask your question, and we'll put it up there. Now, Tracy, I wanted to ask you something real quick, and then we'll go back to Karen and Sherri. For a long time now, I've been wanting to ask you what you think. I'm not claiming to be psychic, but I have this strong instinct that comes over me.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry. I'll mostly turn to my wife and I'll tell her what's about to happen with the situation. It could be between this person, that person, something that's been going on for weeks on end.
Right.
And I'm not muted, so I'm gonna let my wife verify this. When I share this with my wife, I'm usually 95% correct.
Sure. Sure.
You know, I mean, I don't. It's a gut instinct,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just turn to my wife and I'll say, you know what, this is what's going to happen. Like, what's been going on? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you
So,
have intuition.
even
yeah,
even with that, but it's so strong.
Yeah.
That 95% of the time, I'm usually correct.
Yeah. Most people have something.
Yeah.
You know, when we're babies and we're being brought up, you know, everybody has it in abundance because babies are open and they haven't been taught by well-meaning parents and society that, oh no, that's not a real person. That's just your pretend person, you know, so that you get kind of steered away from it because it's just kid stuff. Some of us, you know, we're blessed not to go through that, but everybody has something. And it once you turn it off, though, it's so hard to turn it back on.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah, it's, you know, I've explained it to my son, and my son, he just looks at me and he says, I don't know what you're talking about. I just explained it to you. And he's like, I don't know. You know, it's even when I turn to my wife and even if it's a family member, it's a friend or friends, it just comes to me.
Yeah.
And I say what I got to say.
Yeah.
To my wife. Am
That's
I right
good.
or wrong?
Yeah.
She didn't say it loud enough.
Sorry.
Louder.
Yes.
There you go. But
I didn't want to
It's good that you do that because I learned a
Oh.
long time ago going, oh my God, why didn't I tell them I saw this, I felt that. So now I'm like, no harm to people with Tourette's. I'm like somebody with Tourette's. I'll just blurt stuff out like wherever I am. And it can be interesting. But I figured if I say it before the whatever, then, you know, I didn't just go, oh yeah, I knew that, because anybody can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we used to silence ourselves and only communicate between us with what was going on, but now we just put it out there and
let it all hang out.
Yep. We've gotten old enough now to know that we can just put it out there correctly instead of our versions.
we'll be walking by somebody and I'll just say to Sherry, I'm like, you know, oh, that person, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I feel that.
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Yep, definitely unique.
so, let's see, what do I have for you? I'm not sure if you mentioned this already. Sherri, you have been a solitary practitioner since you were 15?
Yes.
Did you talk about that?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been solitary since I was 15. I veered away around 2021, 22, and then I came back, and I haven't changed my thoughts. I mean, I have evolved in my religion and pulled different unique things out, but I haven't veered from it since. Oh.
I understand that. I've always been solitary because I don't play well with others, and I don't tell me that I have to pray like this or I have to do this, and if you don't do it, then it's get away from me. If that's your thing, more power to you. If some people need that structure in their life, I don't. I do my thing when I know, and I listen, and whatever. So
exactly, I can't. I definitely don't play well with others.
Yeah, since we've been doing crafty, I've took an interest to it. So that's how I, became a witch. And but of course, I'm a Christian witch. And then of course I have so many people asking questions about it, like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. And I say, well, why?
No.
Who's stopping me? And they just don't get that. They think that, all these wives' tales are true and fact and gospel, and you make up your own religion, what feels comfortable for your soul and your being. There's no rules.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just how something's perceived or the nickname that got, like, we've all heard of Eye of Newt. Well, it's not the eye from a newt, it's mustard seed. So
Exactly.
move on. If
I'm lost.
I do like midnight margaritas, though. Just saying.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, Dave.
Wow. Tracy, come on, you're too quiet.
Oh, now he wants you to.
I just,
Yeah, my hard drive, I'm sorry, is going slow at the moment, so I'm waiting for it to speed back up. You know how it is when you get old. So
I do.
yeah.
So do either of you have a specific god or goddess that you feel closer to? If you don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, not really. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, every now and then, and I don't know if it's, my spirit guide, or I'll hear like whispers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially if I'm in a bad situation, I'll hear whispers kind of like, get your behind out of there.
Right.
Or, just, I mean, for people that don't experience it, it's really hard to explain.
No, I get it.
But I mean, or you'll just have this overwhelming feeling. And it's almost like your spirit guide's trying to guide you through that situation. But as far as like a specific god, not I don't.
I do.
And you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to.
Usually mine's like Hathor. I follow a lot about Hathor, and at least she helped me out. I felt like in more of my 20s. But I kind of just it's just kind of flows. So I went through so many, like Hecate and all them.
That's mine. That's my girl.
But for some reason, I was attached with Hathor for a very long time. So I've kind of just jumped, but it just kind of goes and flows.
Yeah, and you don't have to have one. That's the thing. Like when I used to work at this god awful store named Kohl's many years ago, I would get, Miss Tracy, but you're nice. Miss Tracy, you're gonna go to hell. Miss Tracy, sit down. Let's discuss. I said, when you go to church, do you like candles? Yeah. So do I. When you go to church, is there incense? Yeah. I got that too. Are you taught to treat others the way you want to be treated? Yes. It's the same thing. I said, it's tomato.
Right.
I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ. I happen to believe in him a little bit differently than maybe somebody else does. I look at him as like a Reiki master and a healer and a very wise man. That's how I perceive him. It doesn't mean my way is right and their way is wrong or vice versa. It's just, I hate strict stuff.
Right.
Because I think over the centuries, it's just everything has been meshed together,
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's almost a universal religion. You just take a slice of it. Yeah. And that's why I say that, like, no one religion should ever be, put down, because there's a slice of it in something else. So that's why you should never bash somebody's religion. And because there's a portion of it that either, whether it came from mine, yours, it doesn't matter. It all intermingles. It's kind of universal law. It's just the intent behind it.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Absolutely.
Today is the intent on how you're perceived or
Yes.
how your message comes across.
Right.
That is where the problem lies with
Mhm.
today's society.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you have a bunch of Karens out there that went to Whole Foods, bought a bundle of sage, and now they're a witch. And they dabble.
Right.
And, you know, that's whatever you want to call yourself. That's fine. But don't dabble. You can't dabble. I was in a metaphysical store once, and a mother came in with her 2 daughters, and they were playing with a Ouija board that they had out. I'm going, oh my God, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
They don't realize what doors they open up when you start
And
dabbling.
sometimes you can't close them, or portals, or any of that other.
And that goes back kind of to my paranormal experience where I opened the door and it was very hard for me to get it closed.
Yeah.
It took me about 18 months, and it was hell.
Did you go to the Ouija board museum when you were up in Salem?
No.
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 Okay. That
We,
guys.
We
ahead.
definitely want to do more the next time we go.
Mhm.
Well, the guy who runs it, his name's John. I can never pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try. But he also has a small museum here in Maryland for his Ouija boards. Yeah, because this is where it started. And, you know, people, oh, it's just a Hasbro gift. No, it's not. It's, you know, Egyptians use it to chat with one or to chat with the dead. You know, but like anything else, it's your intent.
Yes.
And unless I'm of the mind that unless you are well versed and you've done your homework and you know what you're getting into, the good and the bad, then just it's like voodoo. I have a high respect for it, but I don't mess with it because I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't mess with it, you know, or any of the other ones. So now,
Tracy,
Dave, what?
Put you a trap.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Greenmount Cemetery, well, it's not a good area to go to, but in Greenmount Cemetery, there is a tombstone of a Ouija board. You know
I
anything
believe
about
so.
that? Yeah.
Now I've heard that myself. I've never been over there, honestly, because of the area. I have no desire to go over there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people do silliness like that. I mean, they had up one year, many years back, the went in the Guinness Book of World Records up in Salem. They put it out on the field, and it was the biggest Ouija board had ever been produced, and it was like tall. The planchette was taller than the people. You know, it's like no,
Wow.
just no. You're sitting there probably on top of people who died. You're sitting there on top of trauma. You're sitting no. So
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes energies are attracted to a person. It doesn't have to be a place.
Yeah.
So you're inviting something else to come your way. So that was one of the things that me and her were very we sought ourselves a lot.
Yep. Yeah, always carry that salt with you. A little Palo Santo wood, maybe a little sage bundle, something. My husband says you can't walk 5 feet in this house without hitting a Palo Santo piece. Yeah, but I keep this joint clear, especially with all the crazy places that he and I go to. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It's funny. My coworker always laughs at me because when, you know, there's something going on at work, I'll grab the salt and I'll just salt the entrance to our office. And she's like, yeah, you better put some more.
Yeah.
So Karen,
go ahead.
I was just going to ask, Karen and Sherry, have you thought about creating a paranormal team?
Sherry and I have often talked about that when we were, you know, a little younger. That's something that we, you know, and we just laughed because, I mean, I guess we didn't know that would ever happen or we could ever achieve that. Right. But we've often talked about it because we've always been interested in it. I mean, we were part of the craze where, oh my gosh, let me download, Ghost Talking app to my phone. Yeah, we've always been interested in it. And Dave, I was even going to say, if you ever get back into it, we would love to come down there and do some investigating with you.
Well, I may, but I would have to walk with a cane, or Tracy would have to push me in a wheelchair. So no.
I got you. We'll get a little motorized thing with a flag and a little like ledge I can stand on. And do that.
Yeah, my thing back in the days when I ran the Maryland Paranormal Research Team, I guess because I was a DJ all those years, my thing was audio. I loved doing EVP work. And, the rest of the crew, they were hooking the cameras up. And, of course, I would, love to sit at the table and just monitor the cameras. But my EVP, I don't know. I was like a magnet. Mm-hmm. I was always getting EVPs, and they were like, people were like, and the team was like, how do you get more EVPs than I get? And I'm like, I don't know.
See who they're drawn to. Yeah.
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 I believe up in Gettysburg, I think it was the orphanage we were at. I think I captured one leaving out of there.
Okay.
Because Mike Shango, okay, he said, good night, Dave. And the spirit mocked him and said, good night, Dave.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just remember when we went up there that since I had an inn up there, we crawled into the back, which would have been the backyard of the orphanage, and it's all under these pipes. And I remember getting really, really cold. And apparently I just went out and was talking in a voice not mine. And then I see two of the guys over me going, get out of her, get out of her. There is quite a negative up there. I don't know if I would classify it as a demon, but there's a nasty son of a bitch up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had an instance where we went camping, and there was
we went camping at Point Lookout, and that used to be where it was the military, where it was the jail.
I've been there like 5 times.
Oh, so we would always go camping up there, and we have our one friend, we always did couples, because we're 50 and we're old, and all of our friends are married. So we would always, when we went camping, it was like, all right, you were gonna do breakfast and dinner, and we shared it. So sure. it was our turn to make breakfast. So they came to our campsite, and they're like, really funny guys, and we're like, what's the punchline? Are you gonna finish? And they're like, well, you were walking around our tent last night. And we're like, no, we weren't. We were asleep. And they're like, okay. I heard boots just thudding around our tent all night. Sure. And I was like, you were visited.
It wasn't
Ebenezer. I don't know what to tell you.
I got to share this blooper with you girls. I'm trying to remember if Tracy was around at the time. It was at Point Lookout. Somebody had came to me and said they're getting activity in that back room. I said, all right, let me work my way over that way. So I'm in complete darkness, and I had one of those headlamps on, and it started flickering, and it went out. And I'm like, oh no, I'm in the dark. So I'm walking down the hallway, and I just got a fresh haircut. I was completely bald. I got about middle way in the hall. You're going to laugh. In the hallway. And all of a sudden, I did a dead stop. And I'm trying to remember who it was. One of the team members said, Dave, are you coming in? I'm like, just hold on a minute. They're like, what's wrong? I said, something's touching me. So the member, I can't remember who it was, came out of the room, shined the light, and there's a string hanging from the light bulb with that with the little silver thing on it, right? It's laying on the top of my head.
It was the scariest night of his life. It was a demon.
Let me tell you, I did. Oh, I was frozen. Yeah, I was frozen.
Yeah, I love that.
But I had to quickly get out of there, go outside, and laugh. And I'm like, oh my god,
that's adorable.
Was that at the barracks or was that the lighthouse?
That was at the lighthouse.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it was up where the bedrooms are.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, we went in there one time for a tour, and I just, like, you know, everybody that I was with, they were like, okay, we're going to go up the steps. And I was like, not me. I was like, I'm already not feeling well. I was like, I'm going outside. I could just feel the energy.
My friend Barry climbed up and went up the steps and went up into the lighthouse part. And he hollers down. He says, Dave, are you coming up? Now, this is funny. This guy's almost twice the size as me. So I started climbing up in there, and I got stuck. And I'm like, dude, I can't make it the rest of the way up. And Barry's like, why? I said, because I'm stuck. He said, my big ass made it up here. I know you can.
Why do you give me material like that? I can't. Oh my god.
What's that?
Yeah, you just gave me a bunch of material to work with.
But Barry did capture a good photo. And I have to show it to the three of you sometime. It was the face was like on the outside of the lighthouse looking at him.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And, you know, I'm not talking something pixelated. I mean, it made the newspaper.
Okay.
Wow.
It was so good. Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Did you all ever go to Fort Howard?
I've been once.
Yeah, I think we've been once. I think I've walked my dogs around there recently. But
Dave knew somebody who knew somebody. So the team went in a couple of different times. And there was this one time, and I didn't know what any of this meant back then. I went up with Mike and Peppy to the attic part. And Mike went up to even like a little higher part, like an attic within the attic. And Peppy and I are sitting there looking, and we see a dark shadow go by, and then Mike comes out this way. It wasn't him. So we're like, you really need to come down. So I started walking back towards the back of the room, and it was a brick wall. Now there's no lights, no nothing. And I thought, that's really strange. It's deep, like a vibrant red, the whole wall. And they came over and they said they couldn't get me to move. I was like a statue. They had to pick me up. And the farther I got away from the wall, the better I was, until we were out in the hallway. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, you weren't responsive. I have since found out that when you see things in red like that, it's indicative of a very negative experience, very negative entity.
Tracy, I had Fort Howard for like a whole year.
That was fun.
If I wanted to go in every day, I could go in every day, but I was in there every weekend. Yeah. So, the Maryland Paranormal Research Team, Karen and Sherry, we had access to a lot of places that most paranormal teams dreamed of and couldn't get in. I don't know what my talent was for getting these places, but awesome. It just worked out. Yeah.
You're going to like this. Dave had us all go out to this hibachi grill or something like that over in East Point or Bel Air. I don't know. We went Golden Ring. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he said, I want everybody to wear their t-shirts. So there we are with our t-shirts on with the MPRT written on the back. And people are looking because it's a whole bunch of us all looking, like we look. And we'll go outside and some people are smoking cigarettes. And a lady came up to me and goes, y'all them ghost hunters I be seeing on TV. Where's Jason? So he couldn't make it tonight. He couldn't make it tonight. But the rest of the team is here. Yes, we're them. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot of interesting places. I just can't think of them right now. But Fort Howard, I love to go in there. The Eastern State Penitentiary, I had access to that. I got to help me out here. What was the gangster's name that had a cell there? Al Capone. Tracy, do you know? I had the honors of going in Al Capone's cell, sitting on the bed and doing EVP work.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Nobody,
Okay.
they never allowed anybody to do that. Of course, I had to ask 50 times, but
Like just let him sit on the damn bed.
Yeah, many overnights there at the Eastern State Penitentiary. Another good one that we went to was Moundsville, West Virginia State Prison. We've been there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask this question: if it was one place that you would want to spend a night in the most, I'll tell you what mine is, and then you can answer that question. Mine would be the Queen Mary. In California, but that's what mine would be. Where, Tracy, go ahead. Where would you want to investigate?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Where wouldn't I like to go? I like to go and stay at Lep Castle over in Erlin.
Okay.
I'd like to stay at all the
They
old
have an
castles.
elemental.
Huh? Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have a bad elemental. I found out through the years there's bad ones and good ones. I saw one once when I was 16. And I don't want to sound like that guy who says, oh, I've been there, done that. But these are just simply things that I've seen. If I haven't seen it, I'm not going to talk about it. But it was interesting. Where would you guys go? Sherry, where would you go?
Where would you go?
I don't know. I would probably Ireland, to the more of the older castles. That has more history than here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go down to some of the plantations too in Louisiana. I love
Myrtles.
Louisiana. Yeah.
Myrtles.
Yeah,
would be one,
absolutely.
yeah.
I would love that. So if anybody wants to take me to Myrtle's plantation, please.
Up.
That would be awesome.
I tried to get her. I wanted to go to New Orleans in February, but we changed our mind. So we're going to end up going again probably soon.
Yeah.
You going to go in the French Quarters?
Well, I stayed in the French Quarter the last time. And we did the whole walking through the cemeteries and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't go with
but
her.
I left her behind.
Yeah, she called me when she was doing it, and I was like,
Marie Laveau.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
So
When
I
I
have to
was
see her next time.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl still in diapers, so we're talking like 400 years ago, my parents went down with a stepbrother, a stepsister, and my half-brother and I'm still in diapers. And we stayed in the French Quarters with some people who had an antique store. And the woman we stayed with always reminded me, when I saw her years later, of Divine. Remember? Okay. And they were a trip, those two. But on the way home, my late aunt was in the car too. Everybody started making fun of Marie Laveau. This and that, and just stupid kid stuff. Okay. And as we're driving, the stereotypical fog comes rolling in. And my father didn't believe in any of this nonsense. It got so thick, he couldn't see 4 inches in front of him. And he said, I got to pull over. I don't know where I am. And he passed a sign that said, I'm just picking a number, Route 3. I don't know what the route number was. And then a little bit past that, it sort of kind of broke up and he saw a diner. So he went in and he goes, look, I'm with my family and yada, yada, trying to get back to Baltimore. We just passed Route 3. So there is no Route 3 in Louisiana. He went, oh, okay, well, how do I point me in the, he got back in the car, and I'm told that my father was so laid back. Oh my Lord. He said, "There's, I don't want to hear one more word about Miss Sherri." Everybody apologized now, and they all did apparently, and all the fog dissipated. So
Wow.
it's like, you know, I have a lot of respect. I don't know anything about it, but I don't mess with stuff like that.
Yeah, my mom, when her father passed, so he didn't like anybody messing with his belongings. He was very particular.
Okay.
So my mom went into his house, and she was going through his belongings and grabbing a suit for the funeral. And he had one of those old flip clocks. Mm-hmm. Well, as soon as she started going through his paperwork, the flip clock fell off of the dresser, and it flipped to the time that he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then there was a hailstorm that day. So my mom said that there was a perfect ring of hail around the house. There wasn't any on the house. It was completely just around the house. So that was awesome. My mom's paranormal story that she encountered.
I like it. It's better than all these podcasts that everyone's the same. I swear to God. It was the scariest night of my life. Oh my God, a demon. And they all have these looks on their faces. And there's one guy called Jake, Ghost Hunter Jake, or Jake the Ghost Hunter. I went down with him and his partner, and my husband went with me, cameraman Bob. We went down to Laurel's House of Horrors and walked through. And it was that place. If you ever can just do a walkthrough, I won't go in it when it's in operation, because people can flip out and go nuts. I've been through it many times without anything, and that place is legit. That place has a doppelganger, a mimic. There's just all kinds of negative entities in there. All their stuff is from it's all original from like asylums and nursing homes and old hospitals and whatnot. So it brings all that energy with them. But that place, that's a good place. You ought to go down there.
That's awesome. That's pretty interesting.
Hey, Tracy, we're getting close to the 8:30 mark. We're going to go an hour and a half, a full hour and a half.
Okay.
Tell them a little bit about your podcast. You haven't started it yet, right?
No. There were some shenanigans with my old YouTube page, but got everything straightened out. It's going to be called Beyond the Veil. It'll be live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. EST. And we discuss everything and anything that has to do with the paranormal and then some. I sent out a bunch of requests to people, and I was blown away that right now I'm booked through May.
Oh, wow.
Once a week. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. They were like, oh yeah, we can't wait, this, that, and the other. But I wanted a place and a platform, if that's the right word, that you could ask any question in the world, and I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to judge. You know, in the ads that I do, I always give Beyond the Veil with Tracy Jones at gmail.com. If you have a question, send it to me. I've heard so much over the years. But if you don't know, you don't know. There is no such thing as a stupid question. Right. You know, and I've had so many people like, I can't talk to my family about this, or I can't, you know, if my work knew, don't worry about it. You know, I'm a vault. So,
yeah, a lot of people hide it because they're afraid of what the outcome is going to be. I've hid it from her for a while, but he came clean.
You flew out of the broom closet.
Yeah.
I think it was like my mid-30s. I just finally said, I don't give a damn anymore. I'm going to be who I am, and that's it.
Yeah. So, you get out of that phase of where you think like what you're going to be portrayed as because of your belief system. And nobody really, I'm not judging you for yours. I don't understand why I had it in me thinking that I would be judged because of mine, but
because it's not the norm.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yeah, that's one of the things I try. Well, I'm not going to say try. I don't ridicule anyone that I interview. I will listen to them, word for word, and but I just don't see any point in making fun of someone. When they're telling you about an encounter they had or they experienced. Now, to myself, I mean, it's up to me whether I want to believe them or not. You know,
Right.
And then I take it to the next snoop. But I don't try, to be ignorant or disrespectful. So that's where I'm trying to put it. But
Yep.
so, Tracy, you have a question?
Dave?
Yes.
Yes, Dave.
She picks on me all the time.
I love Dave.
It's why I got rid of her.
Person. Oh, yeah. He said, quick story. I swear, Dave, quick story.
Shar just said, liar.
Yeah. There was a guy here in Maryland who once upon a time won like a mega million thing. And and I'm sure as a person, he was very nice. I just found him to be a little full of himself. And I do not have a poker face. So he's sitting there telling us, do this, that. And so at one point during like an intermission sort of a thing, Dave takes me off to say, stop making those faces. It's driving me nuts. I can't help it. What are you saying? Just sit down, keep your mouth shut, and look straight ahead.
Was I really like that?
Huh?
Was I really like that?
You weren't. I exaggerated it for the comic, but yeah, you did say, "Can you just not?" I mean, you did it the Dave way. I explained it the me way.
Let me ask you this: were you with us when we did that woman's house on Harford Road?
Yes.
Smoking Shadows, where what was the name of that paranormal show?
Paranormal State.
Had to go in.
Yep.
They wanted me to appear in that episode. I told them no. I said the woman done threatened she was going to sue me. I had her sign for her photos. Well, to make a long story short, she had a handyman that was living with her on the property, and he was faking everything.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, she had her snowed, and I can't say there was somebody recently who snowed me and a bunch of other people that I know in this field. So I can't really say I don't get it because he was really good at it. But they called me. This is right before I started with you guys. They called me, Katrina Wieland, whatever her name is. Yeah, her. He had me on the phone for like 5 hours. Well, what did you do here? What did you do there? And I'm, and then so I'm watching it, and I'm watching Chip Coffee going. It's like, you son of a. Now, maybe he saw these things. Maybe he saw these things. Maybe, but it was just even some of the mannerisms, like I was talking about, he suddenly had. But I'm sure he's a wonderful person.
Here's a good one for you, Tracy. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I was up Gettysburg one year, and myself and Bill Bean, we were sitting next to Chip Coffee, and we all decided to go get lunch. So we went to one of these restaurants where all you can eat. So I get a plate of food. Chip Coffee gets his food, comes over. Bill was sitting with somebody else because they wanted to interview him a little bit, and I'm sitting across from Chip Coffee, and this lady walks in and she goes, "Oh my God, look who it is!" Right? She walks over and she looks at Chip Coffee and she goes, "You're Chip Coffee, aren't you?" And he goes, "No, he is." I'm like, oh my God,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, he was funny.
I mean, I've never met him, and like I said, it could all have been a coincidence. So I was like, why was she interviewing me on the phone for 5 hours, getting detail for detail for detail? But yeah, that
we went to a reading with him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We didn't get
anything
done because charge an astronomical fee for that. So we just listened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm being
But-
quiet.
Let me
Dave,
ask
so you can talk.
Kelly, or let's see if Donna's still in there. Does Donna or Kelly have a question for Karen and Sherry or Tracy?
No, I'm good. Sorry about that noise. I backed my laptop into a thermos. So it was a little excitement.
Oh, I thought an entity followed you home or something.
No, not this time. I've had that happen. My husband took me to Antietam and I brought him a soldier. Yeah. So
Wow.
I don't care. They can come and go as long as they mind their manners. If they act up, they have to clean the house. I am not worried.
But you know how often I was at Ramblewood, the Ramblewood Mansion.
Yeah.
Something followed me home every single time I came home.
Okay.
Wow.
My wife would be like, you brought somebody home with you. And I'm like,
your friend's
no,
here.
Yeah, I came home one afternoon and sat down on the couch. My wife said, you got to take them library books and them CDs back to the library. I said, yeah, I know. She goes, no, today, or you're going to owe late fees. All of a sudden, the books, they were sitting on top of the entertainment center. They just started flipping like a deck of cards, one right after the other, down onto the floor. And then the CDs was next because they were on top of the books, right? And I'm like,
okay.
Whoa! I looked over at her and our vacuum cleaner. Boop. Like, all right, yeah. Many a time.
That still a fun story. Why did the vacuum cleaner attack your rental stuff at just that moment?
I don't know.
See,
that would have been awesome if the vacuum cleaner would have vacuumed your floor.
Oh,
instead of falling over.
Really?
Get to work now. Get to work.
So, Tracy, I just want to let you know, and I'll let you know later, if you have something you want me to post for you about your upcoming Beyond the Veil, I'll do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. He's a good guy.
And Karen and Sherry, anytime you have any advertisement that you want posted, please just send it over to me, and I'll put it on the podcast.
Okay. We actually have a gift for you, Dave.
Yes.
You have a guest for me?
A gift.
Uh-oh.
A gift.
Oh, a gift.
So, yeah, this is something that my husband, he made it. This is from Crafty Witch. So.
Nice.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That is awesome.
Yep. So it lights up, but you can't see it unless it's a little dimmer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and tell him thank you very much.
Yeah, where the hell's mine?
Well, you're local, so
yours is going to follow you home
one day. We want to meet up one day, so we'll make you whatever you want.
Oh no, I'm playing with you. I'm just playing with you.
Oh, come on, it would be our pleasure.
Okay.
There you go. I love it. Hook up.
Dave, this was a lot of fun.
It has been.
What's that?
I'm glad that Dave invited us to come do this. This has been a lot of fun.
And usually I'm tongue-tied and can never talk. She usually has to finish my sentences for me. So it's been pretty good for me tonight.
Awesome.
You did great. Both of you.
That shot of tequila right beforehand, that helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Now we just got to get off of here and deal with whatever's coming our way, and be safe and stay warm. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I'll tell you, I'm a person that can take the cold, and cold or not, I'm usually out there in a pair of shorts Well, let me tell you, when I come out of the grocery store today, I had 2 pairs of sweatpants on and couldn't wait to get home to get a third pair on. It's coming. So yeah, please be safe and stay warm. And if you need your driveway or sidewalk shoveled, hey Tracy, I got to tell you something about Tracy. When Tracy grows, what was it, pumpkins?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
They came out of everywhere.
Yeah, I never planted them. I never planted the pumpkins. Now I had them, and I'm sure it's a bird that got a seed and planted it and whatever. But last year,
Blame it on the bird.
The year before, we had a pumpkin patch in the front yard, and they were everywhere.
Wow.
This year, corn on the cob was everywhere. Growing up in between the cement on the walkway.
Yeah.
So it's like, next year, I can't wait to see what kind of veggie pops up next year.
If you get mushrooms, let me know. Did I say mushrooms or no?
You said mushrooms.
Okay. I thought
At
I
least
said
you didn't say
shrooms.
magic.
Yeah, just don't give me the mushrooms underneath the patties, you know. Tracy, you've been good. You've been pretty good tonight.
Thank you. I told you I'd behave myself.
Sometimes. Well, let me take a look.
Wait till next time.
Yeah. But Sherry and Karen, I want to thank you for being our guest tonight, and we're definitely going to bring you back again. And I'm sure Tracy will have you on as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure meeting you, Tracy. And I'm serious. You're local. Get together with me and Sherry. We would love to sit down and chat.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Nice meeting
Very
y'all.
cool.
Nice meeting you.
All right. Thank you again. I'm going to put you two in the green room, and Tracy, don't go away. I'll come to the green room and we'll talk for a few minutes, and then I'll be on my way. So hang tight.
Okay.